to get the payment sent down to Frazier for these medics. Worked on getting the ambulance onto our new insurance, or onto our insurance prior to pickup, and that's part of that increase there. The plane tickets have been purchased and the hotel reservations have been made. Chief McInturf and Lieutenant Bucher will fly down on the 31st to Houston, spend the night, and be at Frazier the next morning to do a walkthrough to ensure everything meets our standards, giving them the go-ahead to depart with the vehicles. Hopefully by noon they'll get halfway here and spend the night. I was really shocked, short notice, of getting these tickets. The old days of $600, $700, $800 tickets. These plane tickets were under $100 each for them. Nobody's flying right now, so they got a great price on it. Resolution was just handled on increasing the line item there for the insurance. Station maintenance. The crews cut the grass at all the stations. Looks like it's almost about to get there again with the rain we've just had. Murphy beds have been installed, completed down at Station 59. These are wall-mounted beds for when crews are down there, leaving plenty of area to drop the beds off the wall, out of the wall. So those have all been completed. We had to call Buckeye Heating and Air Conditioning. I was sitting actually right there interviewing one of our new hires when smoke started pouring out of this vent over here.
Butler.
Butler? Who did I say?
Buckeye.
Buckeye? Buckeye. Butler Heating and Air Conditioning. But they came out immediately and found that the condensation line was plugged and was overflowing down into the motor, so they took care of that, and everything was fine. EMS-wise, we continued QA, QI on EMS runs. Protocol testing is now completed for all of our employees. It's an annual requirement from the Greater Miami Valley EMS Council. We continue EMS online training, continuing education via webinar, since we're not really meeting anywhere in person. The fire training is conducted still every shift. Captain Wagner has it set up on the computer, and the crews come in on their shift and perform training for continuing education. Vehicle maintenance on the damaged Chief's vehicle. Chief McInturf went out and removed all the safety equipment, portable or the mobile radios, and basically all the electronics as far as emergency lighting and such. Quartermaster me. I've issued new uniforms to our new hires that are coming through the orientation process. I have taken in some out of date, out of cycle uniforms that are just worn out. We do want to make a good appearance to the public, so I take back anything that's damaged and issue new. IT communications, we had an issue that Emory was contacted about. I don't know if you guys are getting over on that side, but we're constantly getting a half of a ring, a telephone ring, and it's typically when another building is calling here. It just rings a half time, so they're working on that. Also checked with Buckeye Business Solutions on the low internet speed. We were doing very well for what we were paying for. We were getting in excess of what we were paying for, and in the last 2 weeks it has died to about a tenth. In the last 2 days, whatever they have done, it's come back up and it's working great now. They said that also that internet issue could be the reason for the telephones having problems talking to building. Fire prevention, we installed a new Knox box at the Baptist Church at 116 Hanover. So that's been mounted on the outside. They installed it, and we went over, opened it up, and installed their keys inside. So we can easily get into the structure and not have to make force entry. As far as HR, I've completed payroll for this last pay period. We have 2 people currently in orientation. One a firefighter and EMT, the other a paramedic. We've got 2 more people that have just completed their drug screening, motor vehicle report, background checks, and they're going to start orientation here very shortly. We got 3 people awaiting the results coming back. They were behind at the facility that does our screenings because of the water main break. You may recall a week or 2 ago here in Dayton, they were not doing any drug screening, so that kind of slowed us down. And we've just completed interviews with 3 people that we're sending now to head that way to get their drug screenings and background. We had no fire or EMS public records requests. Any questions from the trustees? My report, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is comments by citizens. Bruce Riley, you're first. You have the floor, sir.
My name is Bruce Riley. I live on South Diamond Mill Road, and I got a question concerning the status of the fire department. I understand the chief's last day was today. I'm kind of confused. For the first time in 35 years I've lived in this community, the fire department has respect from other departments as well as itself. So I don't quite understand why the chief contract was terminated. Roy Mann was in charge of the fire department according to your paperwork. James McGuire is the one that presented the resolution terminating his employment. So the question is, what is the plan for the future? The dead silence tells me that once again, even in the business meeting that took place before this, there is no cooperation between the 5 people that are in charge of this township, from the trustees to the administrator to the fiscal officer, which is only thrown in the mix because she has no choice. So what's the long-term plan for the fire department? Again, we have silence.
I was surprised as you were when that resolution was pulled out. I had no knowledge of prior activity on that. I've asked numerous times, and I asked in the work session, and I get dead silence. I've heard on the street that they might make somebody a public safety director, and you talk about a bad situation.
Well, without the leadership that was presented, I've been around here for 35 years, and this township's always been the laughing stock of the county. I guess we're going to return to that position.
And we were heading out of that. Why did we not renew this? Why did we vote? Why did you bring that resolution out, Jim? You're not going to answer that, are you?
Why are you discussing HR issues in an open meeting?
Because we want to know what's going
Easy,
on.
it's not your turn. It's not your turn.
I don't consider the termination of his contract an HR issue, especially when the man has left. If he was doing something inappropriate, illegal, I think it should have been brought out, not just continuously hidden, along with the numerous executive session meetings you've had with legal counsel, which nobody knows what they're about either. But you sure are spending the township's money for lawyers to come in for your executive sessions. And don't tell me my time is up, because you are not the moderator of this meeting. Mr. McLaughlin is. I will respond to him, not to you.
Well, the rules of the meeting are 3 minutes, and he's not even keeping the time. He can't even
Actually,
follow his own
it
rules.
depends on what you read as far as the rules, because I have a paper published by the township that says I have 5 minutes.
Right there.
So again, it displays the incompetence of the entire complex of Jefferson Township. And dead silence is the response I expected, and that's what I got.
Thank you, Bruce. Okay, we'll play here some more of that. Donna Walters. You're next, please.
Yep, I'm Donna Walters, 3660 Thorntown Liberty Road. Kind of on the same page as Bruce. I was just so surprised to hear that Chief Lutz was being let go, contract not renewed, concerned what the Township Fire Department will do without a leader. I think he was a great leader, brought kind of the fire department was kind of in the dark ages, the way I hear, and he got grants and improved our trucks and ambulances with life-saving equipment and hoses and all that stuff. So now, like, why is he not present? Why is he not renewed? So that is my question as well. And I'm wondering who's going to take over that position, because I think fire department without a chief, I don't see how it can run. You need a leader. So I think Chief Lutz is a great leader. Although heard through the grapevine that maybe Steve Wolf would take over that position.
God help us.
He's when he came to the township, I mean, he's got really good advice. He's a good administrator. Maybe overpaid, but yet he can't be over administration, road department, fire department. And I don't know if he has qualifications for fire department, I don't know. And I don't know if he's still wearing a responsibility hat for where he comes from, which is what I heard. Not downing the man in any way that way, but just, I don't know how everything can get done without a leader, so that's dedicated to the fire department. So it's a concern and a question, so that's all I got.
And I believe I've heard Mr. Wolf state numerous times in meetings that his plate is full.
Yes.
He's working 16 hours a day, 16 hours a day. And he didn't have time to do anything else, so.
Well, I mean, he made a great road department report here. Looks like a lot of stuff's getting done, back to doing some things in-house, so that looks good. But I don't think he can be spread that thin. We need somebody that's dedicated to the fire department if we're gonna have a fire department. So I'm curious, what's tomorrow gonna bring if Chief Lutz left today? So,
Has the job for the new fire chief been posted?
yes, has any applications been
Has it been posted?
taken or?
You know, answer.
That's trustee Van. I'm not over fire.
So tomorrow we have no chief.
Correct. We have a chief right now. It's gone.
Well, right.
Steve, has the job been posted?
No, because trustees have not met to prepare the posting.
I'm
You're
tired of
the
hearing
only
this.
one that can
trustee-
hire, you're the only people that, on a higher revised code that can hire and fire. So we have to organize a meeting.
Okay,
to prepare that.
and I understand that, but the problem with the word trustees, that's two and not three. I was not aware of this, I was not involved in it, and I know that.
Mr. McLaughlin, may I speak?
Yes.
His contract was terminated today, but it was decided a month ago at least.
90 days ago.
So why is it just now deciding, have a meeting to determine? That's just my comment. You see what I'm saying? You hear me what I'm saying? Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Maxie, you're next. Mr.
Can you
Jones.
see me?
Yes.
I'm big as an apartment building. Now, last time, they said they couldn't see me. Can you see
Okay,
me?
yeah, I can see you, but you come on in here.
I don't need to come in there, but you can see me.
Yeah, I can see you.
All of them. I called 2 extra sheriffs in there because I told them, you might earn your money tonight. Come on up here, guys. I might cut up. Look here, really, truly. It's hard to believe you could fire a man and don't have somebody ready to take over. You know, I mean, come on now, we all want to be there. And I asked, not picking on him, I asked him, was this an HR issue? And I said, if it's an HR issue, I understand, I won't say anything. But he stood mute. All you gotta do is say it's HR. Because I asked him something outside when he said, that's an HR issue. Okay, it's HR. But the real question I'm asking is, we got people taking money from the township and they're not living here, which we let that go. So they really don't have any care for the township. All they want to do is get the money and run. You know, let's be for real. So where are we going? You know, we got a lot of people working on the payroll. Ain't nobody working. And poor Mr. Wolf over here, he said he's spread too thin. Maybe we need to cut some of his money and make it for another job. We can vote everything else in. Let's take some stress off of it so we don't have a heart attack yet. Because if we have a heart attack, you're going to die because we don't have nobody to work on it. Not hoping you die.
No.
I'm done. I'm just trying to put a little humor into the meeting tonight.
Cool
Thank you.
down.
Linda Rowley, you're next, please.
Okay, fine.
Back in here.
Trying to keep us all legal. I struggle. I really, really struggle. I see 5 people. I see 5 good people. But I also see 5 people that cannot, for whatever reason, work together. I mean, I sit through the work sessions and I hear all kinds of stuff that, you know, this one's not included, that one's not included, ask Mr. Mann. I've called Mr. Mann 3 times. I've left 3 messages and I have yet to get anything returned. I asked Mr. Wolf months ago that I would like to talk about the road fund. He said, sure, no problem. to yet, still to this day, I got no call back. There's lots of things that this township needs desperately. I'm sure that our battalion chiefs are wonderful. I mean, and any problem or any question I've ever had, it's been answered. We just need someone in charge that the residents can feel comfortable with, and that the residents know that when they ask a question, they're going to get an answer. A truthful, down-to-earth answer that can be applied. And right now, myself and a lot of other residents that have talked to me, because they know that I come to these goofy little meetings, you know, everybody is unsure and nobody trusts anybody, and that is so sad for what we could have. I mean, Mr. Wolf is an awesome administrator, but I think that he lacks knowledge because he has so much administrator knowledge. Everybody is good at different things. Okay, he's a wonderful administrator and knows laws and that kind of stuff. But when it comes to directing workflow and preparing budgets and stuff that's not in his administrative little bucket, I think that stretches him thin. I think that Jim knows banking and money and, you know, and I really wish that Jim and Tracy could work together, that Jim could show his banking knowledge with Tracy, and that we could all share our strengths instead of just that everybody's got going on. And when a resident asks a question, a fair question, that it should be answered to the best of the ability of whoever it is asked to. And I think that as a township, I think that the 5 people that represent me are failing me. I don't think I'm getting, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. I'm saying that as a township resident, I'm being failed. I'm paying my taxes, and I probably pay more than most. But I feel like I'm being failed. I feel like Mr. Wolf is failing me. I feel like Mr. Mann is failing me. The trustees are failing me. And Tracy, I feel like you're failing me because the bills aren't getting paid. Not because it's your fault, but it's because, from what I heard in the work session, for whatever reason, you know, he's not giving you what you need. We all need to work together so that everything gets done. And we don't have this nasty, backbiting atmosphere going on. It's really sad when I come to a township trustee meeting and someone told me today, they said, "What are you doing tonight?" I said, "I'm going at a township meeting." They are a resident here in this township. And they said, "Well, are there going to be any sparks as usual?" And I said, "Why don't you come and give them your 2 cents?" And they said, "Because you have people," and I won't name the name they said, "that don't give up about this township. They're only there because they want to look important." And I thought to myself, that is so sad that that is how the people in this township are thought about. I don't want to live in a township like that. I mean, you know, our fire department has been the laughing stock for years. Chief did kind of get that turned around. And people started to respect us. But I don't want to see us go backwards. And it's just hard. It's just hard as a resident to watch this week after week after week after week and see no improvement whatsoever. And you guys can sit up there and laugh and say, you know, but as a resident, it's just sad. So I challenge each of you, like I was told one time years and years and years ago, you don't have to like them. You don't have to go partying with them Friday night after work. But while you're at work, you do have to get along. You do have to be civil and do what's best for this company. I ask the 5 of you, please do what's best for this township.
Thank you. Okay, last but not least, Jan McLaughlin.
Everybody else has pretty much covered some of my comments and questions. You're a dictator. Who's next? If word is on the street, you're harassing firefighters now, telling them, watch your back, you're next.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've been on Calumet Road, right? Did you see the houses across the street from the Calumet Center? And did you do anything about the code enforcement to that? No. Go down Route 4. There is a there's several code enforcement. There is one that is a code and zoning problem. You ain't done nothing. Your job is a joke. You do not know how to tell the truth. You don't know when to tell the truth. You're a liar. You know the letter that came through about a pathological liar? That was meant for you. Mr. Man is his puppet. And until you stop harassing everyone, this township is doomed down the road. I know you think it's funny. And you think that I'm saying this because my husband's sitting up there. You're damn right I am. You are doing the exact same thing you did to his predecessor. You're harassing him to the point where he will not say anything. You're harassing, doing whatever it is to Mr. Man to make him do what you want. This is not your township. It's everybody's township. I wish the heck you'd get the hell out of here.
Thank you. Okay, next, trustee reports. Jim?
I got nothing for this room.
Okay, so then I'm next, and I agree a lot with Linda. Time and time again, things happen in this township, and I am not included. I'm impressed. I'm not included. That bothers me a lot. Resolutions come out, I know nothing about what's going to happen. That and bills. We have got to get our act together on paying bills. Have the POs out before the bills, run these finances under control. The amount of money, Steve was wrong, $60,000, I've seen the bills, almost a few bucks short of $60,000 to Buckeye business since January 1st. $11,000 in legal fees to an outside firm when we have legal downtown. We are spending way too much money. The road department, we have more employees now than we had back in 19. And back in 19, we spent a lot less money on maintenance. We're farming everything out. I'm not going to mention any names, $4,000 to a local fixer to talk about that tractor at Steinke. We got it last year we fixed all the stuff in-house. I own a farm. When I got something bad, I fix it myself. I can't fix it. I don't let somebody else fix something I can fix myself. We have more people on the road department payroll than we've had in a long time, and all we do is mow grass.
And ODOT work.
So you guys are all right. Things have got to change in this township. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
By the
Thanks.
way, have you ordered salt for this winter?
Won't answer you. He hasn't, but won't answer you.
We're doomed. We'll have the iciest roads in town. Because the county won't help your ass. Huh? Don't take me to jail. I've already lined people up to pay my bond.